Hey everyone, and welcome back to round three of the fully loaded GT. And my elves are facing down some Twilight kin. Don't forget to check out that link in the description. Get some children's books from Chetty D. Anyway, all right, moving on. We're playing round three. This is Compass Points. This is one of my favorite scenarios, I think, in the game. I really like Compass Point. It forces you to, and I'll explain it in a minute. It forces you to like play for flanks, but also push forward. Like I don't know, it's just really cool scenario, and we'll get into it. Mindless Way Dancer, Army Standard Bear with Heal, Mage with Horse and Blizzard, 2 Palace Guard, Hordes, 1 with Chalice of Wrath, 2 Critters, Stormwind Cav with Jesse Boots, 3 Glade Stalkers, a Dracon Regiment with the Brew of Haste, and 2 Dragon Breath. I'm playing Keith, who I've played once before, and then the last time I fully loaded, it was round 5, and we decided to just take a 10-10 draw because there's some really cool games that we just wanted to watch at the top tables, and we weren't in the top tables at that time. So he beat me at ACO a while back, and now I'm trying to get some revenge on him. So let's see how it goes. He has Impaler Soulbane on a Nightmare with the Brew of Haste, so he is speed 9. He's a pretty quick boy. 2 Summoner Chromes. He has a Bane Chant and a Celestial Restoration. Which Celestial Restoration could get really nasty, like if you start hitting some really good heals. He has a Banner Command and a Bane Chant on the other one. Banner of Command, of course, gives, I believe, it's an extra die. It's an extra die to your command rolls. He has 2 regiments of Fleet Wardens and 1 Horde with the Brew of Sharpness. So they're pretty nasty. 30 attacks on 3s with Crush 1 and Elite and Phalanx. Why not? And the cherry on top. Voidwalkers has a horde of those with the Hammer to Measured Force. They also have Elite because that's what elves do. Void Touch Mutants with Jesse Boots. Pretty cool unit there. Thunder 2, Wild Charge D3, so an effective charge range of 14 plus 3, 17 inches. He has 2 Impalers. Let's see. Yeah, 2 Impalers. Regiments, right? Yeah, regiments. And then 2 Mind Screech. Only 12 drops and 26 unit strength. So high unit strength, low drops. But he definitely has some range and some really good fighting capabilities. Twilight Kin, their 2 commands. They have Fear the Darkness, which gives a unit dread. And then Flesh Hooks is the real one you really like. It reduces the attacks of somebody. They can't withdraw, and it reduces their attacks by D6, like somebody fighting your unit. They do take 5 to go off on both of those. So yeah, it's a little tough. So, compass points. On the flanks, these are worth 1 victory point. If you possess the one in your opponent's deployment zone, which is 9 inches off the line, you get 3 points. If you hold your own, you get 2 points. So yeah. So he has, I think these are, let's see, I think these are the Fleet Wardens here. He got Impalers. Rolling in my 6-4. This is the Horde of Fleet Wardens. This is the Horde of the other guys. I'm going to go back because I'm going to forget it real quick. They are the Voidwalkers in the middle. Voidwalkers. And let's see. On his flank, yep, he has another. His 2 Impalers. Sorry, those guys weren't Impalers. On this left side here. Man, you would think I would remember these things. Those are the mutants. So mutants are in behind the forest here. These are mutants. They're not the ones with the big shield. The Impalers are the ones with the big shield. He has his mind guys there and his other fleet warders there. And I believe he has a crone back here. I think that's a crone. I don't know where the other crone is. And that's the Soulbane. Yeah. Mind Flayer, Mind Flayer. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, pretty centralized. There's a building here, which it's really hard to get around that. It's pretty tight. So, and this is a hill. We're on a nice little snowy map today for round 3. On my left side, on the left side of this building, I just put one of my my Dragon Breaths over here because I figure if he just runs anything up to try to like take that flank, I'm not really like looking to fight for it, but I do have 15 shots here at 12 inches away. Like I could kind of annoy him and harass him until maybe something else, like my Cav gets over that way, or maybe I run a Glade Stalker over that way, just to be annoying and just see how that goes. I have my Cav, I have my BSB there, I have my Chalice of Wrath Horde in the middle sitting on objective. On this side, yep, another horde. These guys have been really close together pretty much the whole tournament, fighting back to back. There's Way Dancer, another Dragon Breath. I'm going to be scouting these guys up to the hill. The Blizzard Mage is technically on the hill. Her center point's on the hill. She's just a little crooked because of the way that base is. And I'll be scouting these guys up also. And then I have my critters down on the flank along my Dracon. They seem to like hanging out on the flank. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. And there's my scout move, moving up aggressively. Nothing can get at my my guys on the first turn, so I'm okay with that. If I do get first turn, I'll be able to shoot. So I do get first turn. I push the Dragon Breath up like that. I push these guys into the woods. This was that was a little aggressive on that. They didn't have to come up that far, but my idea was I wanted to be able to see kind of around this building and threaten this direction. They do have Jesse boots, so like none of, the forest doesn't really matter. None of this matters for my first charge if I get it. I push. This was on the scout move. They go up to the wall there. Center lines do push up semi-aggressively. Actually, not that aggressively. About 6 inches here. I have to watch because, well, no one really can get me. I think I'm just buying time for shooting. That makes sense. I do push the Dragon Breath up on the hill here. Eventually, I want to be able to take shots off of this hill, whether it's behind, if these guys are here or something, be able to shoot this direction, or if I have to protect this flank, something like that. Give them a little bit of more visibility up there. It's short range on the Dragon Breaths. It's only 12 inches, so they're really like for me, they play as like a late game. You have a bunch of wounds on a unit, and that one's going to just take you off type of unit. And late game scoring too is pretty important. I'm really aggressive with my Dracon on this side, and Keith is a great guy to play, by the way. He's down in Dojo in South Jersey. We've had the last game we played was excellent, and this one definitely it was really good too. So he said before you end your turn, he's like, I want to check, or after he's actually saying with the Dracon move, he's like, he was saying his Soulbane was back here. He said, you're giving me the flank there, and I said, but you can't fit, like you can make contact, but you can't fit here, right? And he said, well, wouldn't I just move here? And we called the rules judge over, and I was pretty sure about it, but we got a second opinion, which is always great to do in a tournament. Don't feel ashamed to like say, hey, I don't agree with this, but like let's get a third opinion or second opinion. And basically, you can't, although you slide into place, you don't jump into place, so you can't hit on this side, but because you can't fit on this side, you don't get to like jump the terrain and go onto the other side. So that's a nice little rules thing to know. And I moved that way assuming that, and then, he checked just to make sure that we were on the same page with it, which is great. Like that's important. If you haven't really been to too many tournaments, conversation with your opponent and just being clear with your actions, it eliminates so many like rules things or any like points of contention. Just be honest about what you're doing. Like your opponent can't do anything on your turn, so you can just be very clear about what you're doing. And if they agree, like, hey, this unit's outside of 20 inches for your charge, is that cool? Just that good back and forth is great. And as you play a lot more, like it just becomes like pretty automatic. But yeah, so I mean that's just great sportsmanship. That's great camaraderie on the table, and making sure that everybody's on the same page with what's happening. So yeah. I did do a bunch of shooting. I did inspire these guys in case he charges. And this is going into his turn 1. I wish I would have taken a picture of the shooting. So maybe I did afterwards. So yeah, I loaded up on these guys. I did 9 wounds there. I don't think I shot anything else. That's not true. I probably did shoot something else because my other Glade Stalkers are kind of off that flank. Yeah, I just put 3 wounds on a horde here. It's not that great. I mean, he does have a drain life. He has a celestial restoration, which I am assuming is this guy back here. So he's gonna be able to heal some wounds. And the reason being, like celestial restoration, I think is still indirect, so you can't heal anything within 12 inches of you. So yeah, he moves his fleet wardens up here. His spider dudes go into the woods here. One of his main hordes of fleet wardens push up like this. And this is immediately where I'm like, oh, I was thinking, for whatever reason, I was thinking this was the unit that didn't have phalanx, and then he pushed this unit up aggressively, and I'm like, where? Oh, yeah, that's right. Phalanx for my cav suck. Yeah, that's not a great place to be if you're cav. Um, I think this gets shuffled a little bit, but we made sure that like this unit didn't have enough pivot to go straight and hit these guys. So he set that up pretty nice. He checked with me, like this is great conversation back and forth between two players. He was like, hey, I'm gonna put these guys here. There's no way, like I grabbed this a base and said, there's no way that I can move up, pivot in any way, and well, that's not the worst, but and not get into those guys. I don't think this was the final position when I took this picture, but yeah. So they can't charge there. Nope. My guys over here, they can charge there, but that's not great. They do have phalanx, and then he does have some counterplay, so that's nothing that I'm really interested in. He moves up decently aggressively. Defense 5 is going to be tough, or defense 6 big shields is going to be tough for me to get into. What I've learned playing against Twilight is like impalers do not like getting shot in the flank because they're only defense 5. So that's kind of my goal with them. I'm okay with Palace Guard fighting against them, but it needs to be like a one-on-one thing, and it's not ideal. But yeah, so that's the way it goes. And he now he has to be careful because of how aggressive I was with the Dracon. Like they have a great view down the line. These guys are probably out of 20, but like I can't fit in here, I can't fit in there. So he was pretty mindful to not just like let me blow out flanks. And then I don't think I have any way of like seeing that mind flare either. So some really good positioning on his part, and he does do some shooting. I forget what shooting he has, but he does do. I mean, I know. Oh, sorry, lightning bolt. Yeah, so he has lightning bolt 12 with the 2 mind flares. So 6 wounds onto my glade stalkers. Yeah, that kind of sucks. I mean, they're nerf 16 and they're only defense 3. So I do have a heal 3 here. So I'm gonna have to try to heal those. I was kind of happy that he was going after those guys. I mean, I like to have range, but I like to have hammers on the table too. So my turn 2. I move up like this. I'm just keeping. Let me think how this goes. I allowed somebody within 12. I don't know. I think maybe I let these guys within 12 and I put dogs on them to shoot at them a little bit more. I'm not sure. Let's see how it goes. These guys all stay put. These guys halt. I'm halting with the mage to get that nice 3+ light blizzard. Yeah. And over here, I decide not to do anything with my Dracon because I have so much pressure. I have so much range pressure here that I might be able to take out that unit in a turn or two. So I don't really need to do anything. And so what I decided to do was I'm not gonna let the impalers get in. They can't fit here, but I'll allow something to come in. I'll either allow the Soulbane, he can come in, or I can allow this regiment to come in. They're almost dead. I'm thinking like I should be able to waver them at that point. I think they're only nerf 16. They have 12 wounds on them now, so they should be wavered. So it's just the Soulbane coming in, and I think like I can beat the Soulbane, over a turn or two. And so I decided to put a shaft there. And now he can add pressure if he wants to go in there, clear the traff. But he is only defense four in the flank, and I could fit two regiments of Glade Stalkers in the flank. I hit on fours with Elite, and so it'd be fours and fours on 24, 48 attacks if I would double charge. So yeah, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We'll see how he plays it. But this is my turn, so let's see what else happens. So yeah, there was my shooting went off, did 12 wounds. I probably wavered there. What else? So these guys have, I think they have fish hooks or whatever, flesh hooks. I do 5 wounds to these guys in the woods here. That's good. Start taking damage. I'm spreading damage around. These guys. So I charged my cav in, and the reason being, I don't know, this is a great idea, but the reason being is I figured they're not going to do anything this game. I thought, I'll just fire them off, get some wounds on, let my shooting take over. Um, I still have I still have Palace Guard and stuff. So I kind of gave this unit up because I didn't think it was going to be that effective in this game. So, and by doing this, like, it kind of forces his hand if he needs to like countercharge. Like, what if they don't? What if these guys don't clear them in one turn? It allows my shooting another round of combat. It kind of slows up his side of this side of the flanks. I didn't do a whole lot. I see a 5 there, two, a couple wounds, but nothing crazy. And yeah, it might not have been the greatest play, but I don't know. I just didn't know the Cav would be able to. I didn't think the Cav was going to be able to do too much anyway. I needed to buy just another round of shooting, basically. So on his turn, he does take the Soulbane in. The Dracon should be able to survive that. It doesn't have that many attacks, not enough to to take him off the table, I don't think. And I inspired them, preparing for that type of a thing. And these guys were wavered, so that's cool. He doesn't take any bait over here with the critters. He pushes the Impalers forward, and he countercharges. I actually did pretty decent here. I think I got a couple more wounds than I was expecting. Um, he does take his, I don't know, spider guys in there. So the Cav's probably not long for this world, but at least it like delayed a turn. It gets me some more shooting. And in the center, um, yeah, he does some more lightning bolts. Got these guys up to 9. I'm trying to heal them, but now it's going to be like there's more healing to do. So the Soulbane does 5 wounds to the Dracon, does not pop them. In the center here, yeah, they do take care. Oh, they got 11 wounds. That's not bad. Got 11 wounds on those guys, 5 on those guys. So that's, he does have a heal, so we'll see. And then in the center here, um, I don't have a picture of that. We'll get to it in the next turn. He did charge my Palace Guard, yeah, in the center here. So I don't know if he thought this was going to go better. I'm not sure. But yeah, he did 9 wounds to my Palace Guard here in the center. My counter charges are great. I get my Palace Guard in the flank here. I also take this critters that were solo. I take them into the flank of the impalers. So they're gonna have to spend a turn getting rid of them because in 4th edition now they can't just charge away. They're stuck in sticky combat. And so I use my other critters to chaff up these guys. It's just giving me a breather in case maybe I snake here, right? That'd be hard. That'd be horrible. And then I would get flanked. So I'm covering my bases. Look, I played this game long enough that, a 1 in 36 chance of snaking something, it happens. It definitely happens, and it can lose you the game. I have the ability to even prevent a 1 in 36 chance by putting the critters there. I take that chance. Trust me. I've seen too many I've seen too many snake eyes go bad. So yeah, I still prevent. I still am risk adverse in scenarios like that. I have the critters to protect the snakes. Let's do that. Honestly, yeah. Over here, not much going on. I do some shooting, I would assume. Um, Yep, that's just that combat. I don't see any wounds off. These guys are at 9. I should take pictures of my heals. I did take these Glade Stalkers into the flank of the Soulbane. We do pop it, so that's nice. Like I said, these guys in the flank, Soulbane is defense 5, I think. So, but if it's 4, it might be 4. It doesn't matter. Like I still have 24 attacks from Glade Stalkers that hit on 4s with Elite. Like they just need to do a couple wounds, help the Dracon out a little bit, and let's get that thing off the table and face down the lines. And that's exactly what happened. I don't know if he had. I don't know if the Soulbane is inspiring. I think it is. But yeah, so just 5 wounds on a Dracon. Now they're facing down the line. Yeah, I'm okay with that. That flank is looking good. And the good thing is, another good thing is that I have the Glade Stalkers here. They're going to just keep taking shots down the line, and they can hold this objective. I also have the Mage here if I need to pop her over. I have the Dragon Breath if I need it. But I really need to clear up this stuff and get to that objective. That's where the points are. Like right now, like it can easily be a tie, right? So anyway, I do kill this unit in the middle. My reforms were a little ugly. I didn't really have a great way to reform. I don't know why I face this way. Like I feel like this would have been a better idea. Maybe the fact that I had a Dracon there. I mean, I know these guys are coming in, and then he does have his cav unit over here. But I feel like I know like the like pivot wise, right? Yeah, let me draw this out a little bit. So pivot wise, like I couldn't do a whole lot. Like if I put these guys like this, right, facing this way, this flank is open. So I couldn't allow that to happen. If I turn it, I could turn them completely around this direction, and then they would be protected. But I don't know why I faced it that way. Maybe this is an after reform. Let's find out. Um, but yeah. So anyway, his turn 3. Excuse me. Throat's a little dry. All right, his fleet wardens they didn't want to deal with this guy, so they go up and attack him. I think I must have snuck in to try to like do some shot. Oh, no! I know what happened here. Okay, notice there's 11 wounds there. His spider dudes were here. Those 11 wounds, I think this guy, yeah, sorry. So this guy at some point did shooting and did 11 wounds on his own. Now I know it says 11 there, but he already had 5 on him. He did 11 wounds on his own and popped those spiders. Yeah. Yeah. 15 attacks on 4s. Actually, he was on 3s because he stood still. On 3s with Elite on the defense 4 equals 11 wounds, 15 attacks. Yeah, he. I don't. I just said sorry. Like I don't know what you do there. I don't know what you do at that point. Yeah, they popped from the nerve check. I think he had 5 wounds on him. I did 6. Yeah. But I remember this thing did 11 wounds on its own. So that pissed him off, and he was like, I'm getting rid of that. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So he charges in here with these guys. Actually, this 11 wounds might be these dudes. Yeah, so he charges in here. That's going to take care of my Glade Stalkers there. My counter charges are set up pretty nice, so I'm not too worried about that. There's only 4 wounds on my Palace Guard. This game's looking pretty good. I do still have some work to do. He does face here. These guys are up to 7 wounds between my shooting and stuff. My shooting was really good. This game, and yeah, it's taking its toll on him now. So yeah, yeah, he has to clear critters while Palace Guard are ready to fight. He is able to kill the critters. And again, his reforms weren't the greatest. He had to just face the threat of the Dracon here and face forward, protecting the flank here from the Dracon, which is good. But yeah, so that's the way his reforms look. And I feel so bad for Keith, man. He snakes here. Snakes. Yeah, so he That's just this. This is the dagger, I think. Yeah, I'll actually face these guys this way apparently. Um, yeah, this is the dagger because now this is a flank that's not hindered. That unit is going to be dead. Yeah, that was a brutal snakes, man. If he kills there, kind of reforms, they only have 10 wounds. There is chance that he could start getting some heals. He can start bringing his drain life in, where he can fight. It wasn't looking great for them, but for him, but that really is that's yeah, that's rough. And yep, he kills over here. Going to my 4. I do flank. I do kill. I do reface. Wow, a lot happened here. Yeah, this was a big turn. So I took the picture. So we killed here, and Dracon go into the Impalers, kill there, and then this one. I don't know how that one died. I don't know how that one died. These guys looks like they just reformed. I must have just took all my shoot. Yeah, I did. That's right. I remember now. I took all my shooting. So I had my mage shooting. I had the fireball from here that was in the flank. I shot here. This the guy shot here. I had this shooting here. It was just enough to just take out the impalers. When, like I said, when the Dragon Breath get close and they can fire that 15 shots with elite, on fours and fours if they move. It's a lot. It's a lot of heat, and yeah, I was able to take them off. So this was an absolute devastating turn right after the snakes. I feel bad for Keith on this one. Uh, so 4, yeah, he backs up his mind flayers to start just keep taking shots, try to lock down this objective. But yeah, it's not looking great for him now. He will have that one over there on the flank. I have this one. I'll definitely have this one. Um, so my 5, yep, just putting pressure on. I do kill one of the mind flayers. Now I'm in the zone. I mean, my Dracon do have 7 wounds on him, so the lightning bolt could take him. I just need to keep pressuring. Gave those guys dogs to shoot there. I'm bringing the mage over to start shooting at the regiment over here just to see. It'll take a lot of wounds to pop them, but like Blizzard's kind of crazy. Like it can spike really nasty. So he sends his mage in just trying to do 1 wound to these Glade Stalkers, and I don't think he ever gets it. I don't think he ever gets it. Turn 5 me, yeah, I go after or he charge. I don't remember. Um, but yeah, just trying to hold down objectives. Mind Flayer was able to kill off the Dracon. So yeah, I got to get there. I mean, I'm going to turn 6 now. If something weird happens and I don't get that, so yeah, my 6, 10 minutes left, and I do go in, get the Mind Flayer, was able to repivot and face down the line. And his 6, he does not. I was hoping that he would get this just out of a moral victory, um, to get those Glade Stalkers off after that nasty snakes. And yeah, so that's the game. I end up having 3 victory points here, 1 here, 2 here, and 1, and he gets 1 there. So it was a 6-2-1. I ended up killing 2,030 points. He killed 750. It was a great game against Keith. I'm happy to be 1-1-1 against him. He's a really strong player. And Twilight Kin, like the way he plays, I think they took a pretty big hit. And he's looking to rebase his army right now. He's been working on that and trying to like reconfigure a list that's playable in 4th, because the Twilight Kin definitely did take a hit. I mean, they were really, really good there for a little while. So yeah, it was a great game. Look, I'm 2-1 now, going into day 2, and I get matched up against Master Keith Conroy. So Keith and I were able to play. We played at Dead of Winter one time. He challenged me. He beat my ass, and now I'm trying to get revenge, man. I'm on a revenge tour, trying to submarine this tournament. So yeah, hey, thanks for watching. That was round 3. Look forward to round 4 pretty soon. Guys, have a great day. Thank you so much for watching.